Someone to make me feel alright. Somebody help me, yeah. Somebody help me now. Won't somebody tell me what I've done wrong?
The radio is blasting. Someone's knocking on the door. I heard that she's not left. She's passed out on the floor. I've seen so many things I ain't never seen before. Don't you turn on the lights, 'cause I don't want to see no more. Mama told me not to come. Mama told me not to come.
This is the way to accidents.
Straight through doors, none left. Not one of your lads, Pricey.
Yeah, OK. This one's a lying, thieving little piece of work, aren't you, son? You're making it worse for yourself. Get inside.
They're in here somewhere. They've been hanging around for ages.
Ages?
But the rep's just rung. I lost numbers by this afternoon. Hello, reception.
Paxton's Pharmaceuticals invite you to an evening at the Crown Hotel, Scarborough.
Dinner and dancing. Tomorrow night is a bit short notice, but why not?
Yeah, and what?
Well, I suppose I could always take a room at the Crown and make a night of it.
I think you could do a bit better than that. I think you could come out with me, maybe.
Excuse me, can we have a doctor to casualty, please?
That's going to need a few stitches. You said he ran into a car?
Little beggar was trying to make off with a couple of pound of best sausage. Went smack into it. Lucky for him, it weren't going so fast.
So, you're going to tell us your name? So we can let your mother know what's happened?
Can't be much of a mother by that state of him.
No! Hey, come on, come on.
Can you wait outside, please?
As soon as he's patched up, I'm taking him straight down the station. I am staying put.
Well, there's nothing to stop you doing that outside, is there?
So, you're going to let us know what's going on?
I didn't thieve him. He was closing up. He was going to throw him out. I only took him for me, ma'am.
When I spoke to Mr. Mattingley this afternoon, I was astonished to discover that the letter, signed by myself 1 week ago, had not reached his office.
But it's on my to-send pile, Mr. Harper.
And subsequently, when I went to the filing cabinet to retrieve the appropriate file, it wasn't there.
Well, that's because it's here, Mr. Harper, waiting for me to send the letter.
An untidy desk is the sign of an untidy mind. We must look to our housekeeping.
OK, but can we look in the morning? Only I've got my final fitting tonight for my frock for the wedding.
First thing in the morning.
Right you are, Mr. Harper.
You've had a nasty bump to the head, so I'd like to keep you in hospital overnight. That means we're going to have to call your mother.
Should be worried sick if you don't go home tonight.
Tell you what, Nurse Taylor and I will pop back and see you again in a minute. OK?
She started feeling pain, and then her waters broke in the car. Fluid, just like the horses when they're about to pop.
Simon, it doesn't matter, does it, that I'm early?
Oh, don't worry, baby. It's seldom taken any notice of their due dates. We'll just get her through, shall we?
Take care of her, won't you, Doctor? Take care of them both.
Poor lad's half-starved.
Well, looks like he hasn't seen soap and water for a while either.
Have you done with the juvenile delinquent?
One moment, please. Look, while I placate Mr. Bryce, why don't you go and make a cup of tea and a ham sandwich for our friend in there? Mr. Bryce, a proposition for you.
Looks like we're going to have to take it in another 2 inches, Denise.
Hear that, Liz? You'll be falling down grids if you're not careful.
Oh, you look so fab, Den. Derek's not going to know what's it in.
Now, Denise, if you want this dress to fit and not hang off you, you're not to lose any more weight before Saturday.
After Saturday, I can eat as much as I like. What's keeping you, Liz? Get out here and give us a twirl. I'm really sorry, Denise.
Our patient seems to have lost his appetite.
The boy's absconded. You better contact his mother.
I'm afraid we can't.
Why on earth not?
He wouldn't tell us who he was.
So now we have a concussed and injured child wandering the streets with no way of contacting his parents. Hardly our finest hour, Nurse Taylor.
I knew as soon as I clapped eyes on him.
Low average weight. The muscles are very loose. Epicanthic folds over the eyelids.
Crease across the palm. Poor wee man.
How am I going to lose 2 inches from my backside before Saturday? The same way I lost 2 stone for my wedding photos.
And I lost 6 pounds in 3 days.
Slimming pills.
You get them from a clinic in York, £0.50 a shot.
Oh, I don't know. It's either that or I lose my matron of honour.
Down syndrome. How did this happen?
It's a genetic condition. Nobody knows why it occurs, only that it does.
And he'll be like this for the rest of his life?
He will always be slower in his mental and physical development than other children of a similar age, yes.
But I held him. I held him. He looked at me.
Well, it's impossible to tell at birth exactly how he will be affected in later life, or indeed to predict the extent of the mental handicap.
Mental handicap? Why us? Why us?
But my baby was going to be perfect. That's not my baby. He doesn't belong to me.
Venetia, I understand that at the moment you will be feeling shocked or distressed or maybe angry even.
I don't want that baby. I want it taken away. I never want to see it again.
Don't let the sun catch you crying. The night's the time for all your tears.
Morning, Doctor.
You've been busy.
Housekeeping, Doctor. Early bird catches the worm. Got you yesterday. Don't want you feeling left out.
Huh?
Drugs company do. Posh Hotel, Scarborough tonight. I told him you'd be there. Needed final numbers.
Don't let the sun catch you crying, oh no.
Lizzie!
Morning, Doctor.
My goodness. Someone's been busy.
Housekeeping, Doctor. Tidy desk equals tidy mind.
Right.
Patient notes for this morning are in alphabetical order. Letters to sign are on this pile, and Mrs. Bates rang. Could you call her first thing?
Right. Well, just as soon as I've got rid of this lot, I'll be on my way.
Did you not enjoy your breakfast, my little man? Hey? Any improvement?
Oh, if we could just get Mum to express a little milk.
Right, well, I'll have a word. I'll see what I can do.
She's worn out with weeping. Says all she wants to do is go home and forget all about this.
It's for the best. She's young enough to have plenty more children.
And what's left for him? A lifetime in the county asylum?
I know the old ways aren't always the most fashionable, but you usually find they're there for a reason. It's the kindest way for all concerned.
Why can't we just give him a chance?
It was a hot day, the sun was shining down the sea. It was a hot day. Hey, you there! Thinking about my baby and me.
That boy!
Then I got
You know him?
so excited
That's Walter.
that I could
One of Sam Metcalf's lads. He does odd jobs for me now and then.
Sam Metcalf?
His dad lost a leg last summer. Bled to death, you remember?
Yes. Do they still live locally?
Aye, Granby Moor Farm, up Dale.
Thank you.
I won't do it.
Look, I'm only asking you to express a little bit of milk. I wouldn't ask unless I thought it was absolutely necessary.
You can't make me do it.
Tanisha, a newborn baby needs its mother's milk, OK? It provides it with antibodies, it sets it up for life.
I don't care what it does.
Without it, he may die.
Then do the decent thing and let him.
OK.
I'm sorry, Doctor. I'll do it. Then will you leave me be?
Thank you.
Let somebody send down to the earth to live on the wind, and he sleeps on the wind.
Hello there. I'm looking for Walter.
He's working.
Is your mummy there?
Walt says we wasn't to let anyone in.
It's all right. I'm a doctor. I've come from the hospital. Thanks.
She's in bed. She's not been so well.
There's been nothing like this in the family before.
Well, I can assure you that Downs is not hereditary. It's no respecter of social class or race or nationality.
Well, we're all in agreement. Institutional care is the only answer.
There are clinics who deal with these cases?
Some private establishments, yes, but the majority of these children are taken to the county asylum.
The best thing for poor Simon and Venetia is to get this sorted out and get on with their lives.
I agree with Mother. I'd like you to go ahead.
Right, well then, I'll make the necessary arrangements.
Mrs. Metcalfe. Can you hear me, Mrs. Metcalfe?
What are you doing letting him in?
How long's your mother been like this? Look, I need to know if I'm to help her. She's ill. You realise that, don't you?
Why? What's wrong with her? She got a day too?
No. She just needs treatment for her nerves. I'll have a better idea when I get her into hospital.
You can't take her away. No, I promised her whatever happened, we'd all stay on the farm.
If she doesn't get help, she could get a lot worse. All right? What's your name?
Willie?
All right, Willie. What I want you to do is run across to the telephone box and dial 999. And when someone answers, I want you to tell them that Dr. Ormerod needs an ambulance at Granby Farm. All right? Well, what are you waiting for?
These index card files need to go on top of the filing cabinets. Then the stationery order's ready to be collected. Pearl needs detergent. Blood sample to go to Scarborough on reception. And the lock on Dr. Cheriton's door's sticking again. I've written it all down.
Do you want to stick a broom handle up my backside as well?
Lizzie, I cannot seem to locate the Foresight correspondence.
It's on my list. Signed copies go in the brown file, unsigned copies in the yellow, signed originals in the blue, and the rest attached to the original file, which we've refiled under P for pending.
If you could perhaps point me in the right direction.
Certainly, Mr. Harper. That's what I'm here for.
Where's the rod, Alan? The rod, Alan?
Excuse me. Would you mind terribly giving me a hand with my bag?
I don't think you'd allow that lot on the ward.
Do I look like a sick person to you?
Not a bit. Where do you want them put in?
Well, we used to call it the Holloway Hotel at the hospital in Manchester.
The nurse's on.
You're never a nurse.
Student nurse, actually. Samantha Beaumont.
I'm Alan, and he's Ken.
Lovely to meet you.
Yes, lovely to, it's lovely. Excuse me, where are you going?
Celebrating my last night of freedom. If it's not too much trouble, could you possibly put them in my room? They're expecting me. See you.
get on with the journal?
Oh, very interesting.
I thought you'd enjoy it, so I've looked at another one for you. You'll find the article on psychotic behaviour in adolescence exceptional. It's very perceptive.
Great, thanks.
We can discuss it tonight at the Paxton's dinner. Oh, you are going?
Tonight? I thought we were going down the Palladium. You never said anything about a dinner.
I'm sorry if I put my foot in it.
Lizzie only let me know I was going this morning.
A bit short notice, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm afraid it's doctors only.
Oh, I see.
It'll be pretty boring. Very dry. Full of drugs reps banging on about their new miracle cures.
Better off down the Palladium then, won't we?
Mother has already spread the word. How our baby was stillborn, such a tragedy. Is it our fault? Is it something we did while Venetia was expecting?
No, the extra chromosome was present right from conception. Nothing you did subsequently could have affected him in this way.
And what will happen to it now?
Well, he'll stay here for a few weeks and then, if he's placed under the Mental Deficiency Act, he'll probably be transferred to an asylum in York.
Thank you, Doctor. I've seen everything I want to see.
Some parents like to arrange a christening.
I don't think that's necessary. God has blessed us with a Mongol. God can take care of his own.
Well, then a name, at least. It just makes things easier for the nursing staff.
We were going to call him William after my father. Poor devil will be spinning in his grave. Call him what you want.
I wasn't making a point, Nurse Taylor. I wasn't aware you weren't invited with David.
Why would it be? He's the doctor.
I think very highly of David as a friend and a colleague, but you should be aware that's as far as it goes, as far as I'm concerned. And obviously as far as he's concerned, of course.
So he's safe with you then, is he?
Absolutely, 100%.
Very kind of you to set my mind at rest, Doctor. Mrs. Metcalf?
Nurse Taylor, this is Walter, Daisy, Willie, Amy, Francis and Dan.
You only need one more. You can do Sound of Music.
We'll dip him in the back, send him over to you. You put him into something clean and keep him occupied until we're done.
Occupied.
I'm sure you'll think of something, Ken.
I found this young man in my office, Sister Bridget. Would you care to explain?
Oh. Well, she will wake up.
Dr. Klein sedated her so she can get some proper rest. But she'll wake up in the morning. I promise.
Oh, we'll be back on the farm by then. I'm 16. You can't stop me.
Strange. Your mother's medical records make you 15.
Nearly 16.
Ah, OK. Look, you're just too young to take full responsibility for your brothers and sisters, Walter, no matter how much you may want to. Why don't we just make alternative arrangements until your mum gets better?
But she will get better.
Oh, yes. These new drugs work very fast. She'll be back to her usual self before you know it. OK. Off you go. And don't worry. You can see your mum again in the morning. It's all a bit much for him. He only lost his father a few months ago.
Probably what triggered his mother's depression.
Prognosis.
I'm optimistic. She's an ideal candidate for the new tricyclic antidepressants. Cases like this have responded dramatically in the past.
Dr. Ormerod?
Ah, yes, matron. I meant to explain.
Sister Bridget informs me that you've turned my hospital into a home for waifs and strays.
Are you sure the extent of this reorganisation is wise, Lizzie?
You're right, Mr. Harper. We should have done this ages ago. Where we were going wrong was putting everything in alphabetical order by name. I'm reorganising it so everything's in by subject, then subdivided alphabetically. Easy.
Sounds terribly convoluted to me.
Don't worry, Mr. H. I'll talk you through it in the morning.
Lizzie, are you feeling all right?
Why?
You seem a little on edge.
Dr. Cheriton, do you think I've put on weight?
Not in the slightest.
Oh, just what I needed to hear. See ya!
she responds well, she'll be an ideal subject for my research paper.
Oh, I didn't know you had literary ambitions.
It's a very interesting area. I'm hoping to publish this year.
Oh. Enjoy the dance?
I intend to. Oh, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Doctors only. I'll give him doctors only.
What I don't know about Paxton's is not worth knowing.
I thought he'd never stop pontificating.
I think anyone noticed us leave, do you?
Well, what if they did?
I think you know the answer to that.
So, let's come to this. Creeping round. Furtive as a couple of guilty teenagers.
Well, it's either that or nothing.
Jill, you deserve more than this. You know, if it wasn't for Caroline, well, you know we'd be together by now.
Later. There's so much time for all of this later. For now, let's just enjoy tonight, shall we?
In the sunshine of your love.
See you in the morning.
Oh! Hello? Is there anybody there? Hello?
Please tell me this is the nurse's home.
Yeah, but we usually use the front door.
I'm so sorry. I'm new. No one told me they locked the door at 10 o'clock. Samantha Beaumont.
Meryl Taylor. So you're our new student.
Oh, and you won't run a report on me, will you? At my last place, I blotted my copybook on day one. Staff nurse made my life a living hell.
Yeah, well, as long as you don't make a habit of it.
I wonder, if it's not too much trouble, would you mind showing me to my room?
You should be in bed, Walter.
Just telling me mum to sleep tight. She needs a rest so we can take her home in the morning.
Who told you you'd be doing that?
Oh, I heard Dr. Omirod. He said she'd be back to where she was before my dad died. She won't be crying all the time.
I'm sure she will in time. But to get her better, we need to give the antidepressants time to work.
Well, how long?
We'll need to keep her in hospital a considerable time. Run along back to the ward. You can see her again in the morning.
Let's go through this again. Last night I left my Beverley creams in the tin and this morning they've gone.
I've told you, I didn't eat your rotten biscuits, all right?
In the hospital of all places. Some people aren't troubled by such a thing as conscience, Mr. Harper.
Please don't upset yourself, sister. I'm going to make an immediate review of our security arrangements. Hopkirk, notice anyone acting suspiciously around hospital premises last night?
Well, I didn't.
Some ne'er-do-wellers availed themselves of my bicycle without permission.
You what? You nicked it. Sorry to hear that, sister. Do you want me to call the police?
I informed them of the theft last night, but they don't hold out much hope. According to them, one bicycle is very much the same as any other.
Despite the fact that mine is marked with the convent address and a St. Christopher medal on the basket. So if you could keep your eyes peeled on your travels.
Certainly will, sister.
Thank you, matron.
Staff Nurse Taylor. This is Student Nurse Beaumont. She comes highly recommended from Manchester.
Yeah, we've already met.
Nurse Taylor will show you to the ward. And I'd like your hair put up properly by tomorrow. We believe in the highest standards of personal hygiene.
Well, then I've had it. Wait till she gets an eyeful of this.
You'll find the acetone in pre-op. Oh, come on, I'll show you.
Right, and thanks for saving my bacon last night, staff nurse.
Best ask Alan, theatre technician.
What, the sweet little one?
Little, yes. Sweet, no.
I'm gasping. You couldn't lend me a ciggy, could you? I got through all mine last night.
Sorry, don't smoke.
Don't tell me that's a doctor.
That's Dr. Cheriton, yes.
Things are looking up already.
Nurse Beaumont, I presume?
Who on earth is that?
She comes highly recommended, apparently. How was last night?
Oh, dull as ditchwater. All we did was talk shop.
Palladium was fantastic. Came away with 2 phone numbers and a proposal of marriage. Mind you, the lad was seeing at least 3 of me at the time.
At least one of us had a decent evening.
This little girl, Charlotte's just rung. Said she's locked in a house with a man. She says he's really poorly and her mummy's not there. Oh, she sounded dead scared, Doctor.
Did you say who the man was?
No.
Did you get an address?
Adam Villa, Helmside. It's one of those big houses on Westcliff.
I'm on my way. You better call the police. I don't know what I find when I get there. And the ambulance.
Police, ambulance.
Oh, and I made some inquiries about your charges, Doctor. Miss Prosser from Child Welfare will be taking them off our hands this afternoon.
Well, I want an assurance that the family will be kept together.
Highly unlikely, I'm afraid. They've upped and gone.
Well, we'd better find them then, hadn't we?
The wicked witch at the christening. As if I'll taint their precious children just by looking at them.
Let's get you back to your room.
I was going for a bath.
Come on, I'll run it for you.
You're the lass with the Downs baby, aren't you?
I don't have a baby.
I were in your shoes a few years back. I know how rough you must be feeling. If you want someone to talk to, come to me. I'm a good listener.
No, thanks. It won't be necessary.
Show me your hands, Nurse Beaumont.
Sorry, matron. I didn't have time to take it off this morning.
Nor did you have time to mend the ladder in your tights, polish your shoes, or fold your cap correctly. Hardly an impressive start, is it?
Sorry, matron.
Kindly leave my hospital and return in a respectable and hygienic condition.
Yes, matron. I'll be back in a mo.
You will not. I will inform Night Sister that you will be joining her tonight.
I had made arrangements for tonight, matron.
Then you'll have to unmake them, won't you, nurse?
Rotten old bag. Oh, and he was going to take me to the Regal tonight. Oh.
I'll dump these. We'll have a ride round in the van, see if anybody's seen them. Have a look. What's missing?
Me butty box. Oh, it was corned beef this morning.
First my Beverley creams, then I leave me paper, me snap tin and me flask on the table.
Hey, it's the kids.
Oh, great work, Sherlock. You couldn't have gone far. Let's go and see if we can't sniff them out. Fee, fi, fo, fum.
Surprise.
Oh, thank you.
That's one of them.
Clara's a Downs child, yes.
Her mother. She kept it. But why? When she has normal children.
Oh, Jennifer's right.
You should ask her that question.
I thought they were these drooling imbeciles that had to be locked up. That they were dangerous.
Why don't you come say hello?
got him. Tell you what, Alan, just leave this box of chocolate biscuits here.
Do you think they'll be safe? All these lovely chocolatey biscuits.
Oh, safest place in the hospital. No one ever comes down here.
See if you can make contact with this little Charlotte first. Get her to open the door.
What if she doesn't?
We'll force our way in. Don't worry, Doctor. I'm right behind you. Come on, lads.
Well, 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 look what's turned up.
Hey, there's one missing.
Come on, where's your brother?
Sister Bridget's bike.
He's gone home, hasn't he?
He told us not to tell you. He said he'd come back for us tonight.
Did he now? Right, come on, let's get you lot back to the ward.
He said if he found us, we'd all be taken away to the children's home.
What should we do?
You lot are going to get me the sack. Right, promise you'll stay here and be as quiet as mice while I go and fetch your brother.
Cross me heart and hope to die.
And they're not gobstoppers, but they'll keep you quiet till I get back.
Charlotte?
Yes?
You rang the hospital. You told us there was a man inside.
Can't reach the key. Come quickly. He's very poorly.
All right. He's still inside, but you can't let him in. Thank you, Doctor.
Stand well back, Charlotte, sweetheart. We're going to open the door. All right? Right, come on, lad. On the count of 3. Yeah? Yep. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right, Charlotte.
Can you show us where this man is, love? Police!
He broke my window box.
Where the hell have you been? This is a belly emergency.
Mr. Rose?
Grandpapa.
I have slipped a blessed disc. For God's sake, man, stop gawking and get me out of here.
They said she'd never see 3 years old. But here she is, large as life and twice as much trouble.
This is my sister. Isn't she pretty?
So you took her home? Doctors told me not to bother. That she'd be a burden, split up family. But her sisters love her to bits. We've got her reading a bit, writing. Bright as a button. Really proved them wrong, haven't you, Clara?
Would you like to hold my sister?
No, thanks, it's all right.
She's ever so pretty.
Go on, love. Have a cuddle.
Venetia?
I can assure you that I had absolutely no intention of manipulating Venetia in any way.
This is intolerable. Come along, Venetia, I'm taking you home.
Well, I'm afraid she's not fully recovered. I can't allow it.
I will take full responsibility for my wife. I will take her to a decent, responsible doctor who has her welfare at heart. I shall report you to the General Medical Council. I will have you struck off!
I will not have raised voices on my ward under any circumstances. My office, please.
Let's get you back to bed.
Will you take me to see my baby?
Exhibit A.
Hey! Think you owe us an explanation.
Mind what you're doing, man.
Sorry, sir. We are doing our best.
May I ask exactly what you were doing, sir?
Grandpapa was having a Dolly's tea party.
I need Valentine. Scarborough. Best orthopaedics man in the business. Get him on the telephone. Tell him to meet us at the Royal. He's going to need to operate.
Well, maybe I should examine you first.
Don't be absurd. Stop smirking, man, and fetch me my pipe. It's on the mantelpiece.
Mummy said you weren't to smoke that thing in the house.
I'm sure Mummy wouldn't mind. In an emergency, darling. What the hell are you waiting for, Cheriton?
We don't stay out farm. We'll be turfed out.
Who's going to do that?
Landlord, Mr. Brownlee.
Yeah, but you've lived here for years.
And my dad bound the tenancy over to me, but I can't take it up till I'm 16. I was there when Brownlee told me mum all this legal stuff. But until it comes to me, if we're not living here, working farm, day after day, he can chuck us out.
And you're 16 when?
End of next month. But he's wanted us out for years, you know. He wants to keep the land for himself and sell the house.
And you didn't ask for any help? In case someone found out about your mother and split you all up?
Blimey. Look, if we have to be split up and put into children's homes, we lose everything. My mum won't even have a home to come back to when she gets better. So we can't let them take us away. Now do you see?
Here we go. Support the head, that's it. Hello, William.
Why don't you just leave us at home?
Because I don't want you lot on my conscience, all right?
Because we'll be out on our ears if Matron finds out.
I know, you lot stay here and keep stum, understood?
Excuse me, miss. Miss Prosser, Child Welfare, to collect the Metcalfe children.
Here we are. Come on. Come on, kids. Hurry up, hurry up.
Any pain down the legs at all?
No. For heaven's sake, man, don't attempt to teach your grandfather to suck eggs. I've slipped a belly disc.
I don't think you've slipped a disc, Mr. Rose. I think you've ruptured some fibres of your nuchal ligament, which is causing severe muscle spasm.
I've never heard such blithering nonsense.
So I'm going to give you a shot of pethidine, if you wouldn't mind dropping your trousers.
We've every confidence that your mother will get better, Walter, but it's not going to happen overnight. And I'm afraid you're just not old enough to take responsibility for your brothers and sisters here.
All fire, Doctor. As long as there's a responsible adult with them at all times, that would be okay.
Well, in theory, but, well, they're just not going to be able to support themselves.
Well, beef cattle are almost up to weight. We'll be able to take them to market in a week or two.
And the thing is, my brother Stan...
How did I know that this would involve a Hopkirk?
Hopkirks, proud purveyors of high-class meat products to the trade. Well, he'll take all the beef and lamb the lad can conjure up.
That's as may be, but there's still no one there to look after the children.
Ah, well, Stan's Mrs. Sandra. Well, she's at a loose end since our Cheryl got married, and, well, she's a marvel with kids. Ian and Stan will see him right.
Consider the arm well and truly twisted, but I'm going to keep a very close eye on you.
Well, looks like you're going home, kids.
No one mentioned chickenpox on the telephone.
Well, developed very rapidly, Miss Prosser. It's a highly contagious strain, so I'm afraid the children are going to have to remain in isolation for at least a month, by which time we expect their mother to have made a full recovery. So I'm very sorry to have wasted your time.
Better look before you leave. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Lizzie, that last conversation never took place, understood?
Received and understood, Doctor.
Good night.
Lizzie, I'm afraid we need to have a little chat. Dr. Omrock. Dr. Omrock.
Lizzie? Lizzie?
There really was no need to bring you in, sir. A hot bath and a supply of butazolidine would have done the trick.
Did they teach you nothing at medical school? Even a half-wit could diagnose a slipped disc. I need surgery, and I need it immediately.
Pulse 140 and irregular. Come on, Lizzie, can you hear me?
She must have taken something.
Not drugs. Not Lizzie.
Acting weird for a couple of days now.
Too young to be having a coronary.
Lizzie. Lizzie, have you felt any palpitations lately?
A few.
For how long?
Since I started taking the pills I got from Denise.
What sort of pills?
Slimming pills. They're in my handbag. Oh, I'm gonna be all right, aren't I? Only I've got a wedding to go to on Saturday.
Cheriton!
Amphetamines and high dosage. How many of these are you taking, Lizzie?
2 this morning and 2 this afternoon.
And for how long?
A couple of days. I had to. My matron of honour dress is too small.
You really must have wanted to get into that dress.
It's the amphetamines which will make your heart race.
So I'm not going to die?
I don't think so. But if you're taking them for much longer, it might have been a different story.
Amphetamines aren't sweets, you know, Lizzie.
They're dangerous to the heart and potentially addictive. I'm surprised anyone prescribes them anymore.
I hold you personally responsible for this, Doctor.
What on earth do you think you're doing?
I'm holding our son. I want us to keep him.
Deal with this, Simon. Daddy, you're impossible. I leave you alone for one afternoon and look what happens. Thank you so much for rescuing him, Doctor. Well, say thank you, Daddy.
My gratitude is immeasurable, Dr. Cheriton.
And he'll be all right.
He'll be a little sore for a few days whilst the tall ligaments heal. But if you make sure he takes his painkillers.
Oh, Doctor, you can call Valentine. Tell him I won't be needing his services after all.
Will do, Mr. Rose.
You are not smoking that filthy thing in here. Honestly, I don't know how you put up with him.
You never called Valentine in the first place, did you?
On the other hand, looking after any child can have its difficulties.
But you think he'd be better off with us?
Well, as far as the quality of life is concerned, there's no question, really.
No idea what you're taking on.
What we're taking on? Or do you want to reject me too? Along with our defective baby?
Look, I think that you both need to think very carefully about how this could affect your relationship.
Do you honestly believe that we can cope?
If Mrs. Troughton can manage on her own, with a husband who works and 2 other children to care for, I think we, with our nanny, our daily help and our housekeeper, can make an attempt.
We have told everyone that he didn't survive. And now what are we going to say?
We'll tell them the truth. This is our son, who we love, no matter what other people might think.
I don't know, Venetia.
But he's your son. He deserves a decent life.
And he will have that in a clinic.
I don't want to spend the rest of my life wondering what happened to the child I had locked away. Simon, I don't want to force you to choose. But I'm not giving him up.
Then why consult me? If you've made up your mind.
Because I want you to want him too. Let's do this together.
You've got time for a quick drink before you go?
I should be getting back.
Oh, yeah. Kids haven't seen you for days, have they?
Look, I meant what I said, you know. This state of affairs won't last forever.
No, I don't suppose it will.
You look exhausted. Busy day.
Tiredest moments.
I was thinking of grabbing some supper later. I wondered if you'd like to join me.
Sorry, we're going out.
Of course. I suppose I can pick your brain about my paper some other time. Good night. Enjoy yourselves.
Night.
Managed to resist the lure of the psychiatry paper then?
Got much more interesting plans for tonight.
I've been so stupid.
Oh, you're as thin as a lat as it is. What possessed you?
I wanted to get into my dress. I didn't want to let Denise down.
Well, she's hardly twiggy, is she? Oh, you daft apeth, near killing yourself for the sake of a couple of pounds. Well, now think if you hadn't been here, if the doctors hadn't... Oh, Lizzie. What would me and your mother do without you? Next time I see you in hospital bed, I'll be bringing a teddy bear for my first grandchild.
Dad.
Well, you're the whole world to me and your mother, you know. You ever frighten me like that again, it'll be me needing treatment for a heart attack.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Come here.
You heard him. He didn't have a stroke. There's nothing wrong with him. And he can't talk properly because he's had a tooth out, and that's all there is to it.
Are you telling me that your romantic dalliances are more important than the prestige of this hospital?
There have been some allegations made.
He stares at me.
He stares at her unmentionables.
Pink? You can't have a rugby team in pink.
Come on, the Royal!